All right. Hey, everybody. It is Monday. We've had our team time on Monday nights. It's February 19th, and I'm so glad you guys all took time to be on. I'm going to take a second. I always should do this before I record. I need to mute everybody. But I really do. I mute it just because of the recording. It can be a little distracting when there's noise or if somebody's clicking on their computer or something. But I really do want it to be interactive the best we can. So if we're ever getting into something and you've got a question, like please just, raise your hand or unmute and jump in because this really is for everybody's benefit. So who watched Dr. A's call before this? Were you on Dr. A's call with some new presidentials? The girl Vera who went first, I want to say she reached, in order to be recognized as a global presidential or integrated, you've got to be at that rank for 3 consecutive months. And from what I understand, Vera reached presidential in her 7th month with the company. So just real spitfire. But I love the words she used. She said, what we have is like a germ. It's contagious. Like we have to spread this. We have to give it away. And hopefully you watched on Team Fortune. I was so lucky. Jamil, I said, hey, would you speak to our team? I would just love for him, and he's like, hey, whatever you want me to do, I'll do. And that is what we have with leadership with Optavia. Jamil doesn't have any financial interest in our line of business. Like he is not associated with coaches in our area. He just happened to be in the area, and his mom lives in the area, and he had 1 or 2 coaches come that were on his team, but we had a room of 40. And that is the heart of Optavia, is that people are willing to give their time. He was with us for by the time we did dinner, like 6 or 7 hours, and just for doing good for others. And he's a real great example of when we really put our heart in this and we turn it outward and how we can help other people, that is where we start to see that transformation in ourselves, and that's going to happen physically, healthy mind, and it's really going to show up in your bank account as well. So we're just real blessed that we are paid well for doing well. But I think really a big message that you will hear and I hopefully feel is around the idea of sharing not only the health program with our with people, because we know we've got this weight loss plan, but we know it's so much bigger than that. And what Optavia is about is community and transformation from the brain down, changing the way we think, changing the way we interact with people, etc. And so this is new for people that we work with, and it's something that we have to work as coaches at our skills on really starting to open people's eyes to what's possible to them, and really having a responsibility not only to offer them a healthy body, but also to offer them what you have right now, which is the opportunity to change your life in terms of our most precious commodity of time, and centering your life around what's most important to you, and also in the area of finances. So I think what we're really going to focus on is sharpening and developing our skills at building community and really getting comfortable, getting to know people, finding out what they are missing in their lives, and then offering coaching as an opportunity and a solution for them. If you're participating in this sponsoring boot camp, raise your hand if you've been watching those. Did you get a chance to watch this past Saturday? And Jen, I just would recommend, so if you're not doing it, we can get you into the sponsoring boot camp Facebook group, and they're only on like week 3, so you can certainly catch up. But from this past Saturday, I would highly recommend that you go back and listen to Jen Jones. She really shared her story about how she initially started just coaching clients and why she was doing that, and then the epiphanies she had, and then how everything changed for her, people she was interacting with. And so what we're going to talk about tonight is really working together as a team. We're a community right here. We're a family of coaches really working together to interact with each other more. And we're going to do that through our Facebook group, our coach Facebook group, and really use that as a tool and a resource. We're all over the place. So really using it as a resource that we can connect and help encourage and support and educate each other. But also for our clients, we'd really like to elevate our Eat, Live, and Be Optavia page so that, like Nancy Strauss said when she was speaking on Dr. A's call a minute ago, about making that a play, it's a party. It's a party where our clients want to be, that they feel connected, that they feel the energy, that it's common discussion, that we often become health coaches, that that's something that they want to be a part of. But the most important thing is I really want it to be a safe space for people, that they feel that they can come, and for you as coaches and as also for our clients, and be vulnerable, like real talk for real people. You know, if something's not going well, we want people to feel comfortable. And so we do a really good job at bringing in and introducing our clients, and we do a real good job of sometimes doing an atta girl, you know, or atta boy on the back. But I think that there's a lot of potential for more. So what I'm going to do, the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that you are receiving all the notifications that you can in our coach page and also on the Eat, Live, and Be Optavia client support page. And then once you do that, I'm going to ask that for your clients, next time you talk to them, that you walk them through this and actually maybe have them do it while they're on the phone with you. Because what we're finding is that a lot of people are not seeing our post. And even in our coach group, if we don't like or comment on something, it stops showing up in your newsfeed. So for example, even today's post about tonight's call, there were like 39 people that didn't see it as of 5 o'clock today. So just, you know, so I want to make sure you're getting all notifications. So I'm going to do a quick screen share and just make sure that we all know how to do that. Can you guys see my Facebook page? Yes? Okay. So on Eat, Live, and Be Optavia, and it's going to be exactly the same on our coach page. You just want to go in there and you'll see right here at the top, there's a notifications. So you can just click on that. And then I think it defaults to highlights if you don't change it. So we want ourselves and our clients, everybody, to be on all posts. So just put that down so that everything gets posted, you will see. So do that for yourself, coach page and client page, and then you'll want to walk your clients through that as well. And that'd be something I would do early on, especially do it now for all existing, but we actually walk your new clients through that. So Julie, there you are. I would love if you would spend some time just sharing, we met as a group of executive directors, just kind of sharing our vision for our page, what we've seen happening, where we'd like it to go, and maybe just some ideas of how everybody could be a part of this on many different levels, and how to teach our clients to engage.
Yeah. Hey guys. So I think all this actually started probably, maybe was that a year and a half ago, Dee? Mm-hmm. Because we heard a lot of other coaches talking about their group pages, and we saw a need within our group to have a more alive and real page. And so that's why we started our Eat, Live, and Be Optavia. And I think that we do a really good job of introducing people and celebrating, like Dee said. But it probably was in January where we started to see maybe a little bit more of people being vulnerable and real. If you guys noticed that, nod your head, just if you've noticed a little bit more realness in our group in the past month or two. And I think having that focus group really introduced that and really got people being real with each other. And I think the first post had how many comments, do you like 80 comments or something? Mm-hmm. So the people want, everybody in our clients, our community, they want interaction. It's obvious, but I think from just looking in myself as a coach, it's not the best community for that. Like, we're getting better, but it's more of like, oh, hey, welcome this new client. And then we have maybe 4 or 5 coaches that comment on stuff. We don't have clients commenting. We don't really have a lot of interaction with our clients in the community. So as EDs, we were kind of talking about ways we could make it a bit more. So we're open to all of your ideas as coaches too, because it's your clients and we want to help support them as best we can. But the other thing that we're missing out on, and I think other groups and communities, it's a great way to see who can potentially be coaches and who wants to step up to do more. So if you guys look today, that was a post was, whose client? Is that Beth's client, Catherine? That posted today her journey. I mean, I think that's awesome that she was willing to put that out there. And I have no clue if she's a coach potential person, but if we're seeing that as coaches and what our clients are out there putting, they're willing to be vulnerable, we should all be commenting on that. So I think that it should be something as coaches, not that we're required to, but because we enjoy being a part of what's happening in our group, we're encouraging everybody and we're commenting on everything. So I think we have a pretty good group, but I think we have a lot of room for potential. So I guess my challenge would be is for every coach to start being more like involved in the group and what could we do as coaches. So instead of just saying, hey, good job, maybe asking more questions on there. I'm not offended by that if somebody asks that of my client. Is anybody else like, what are y'all's, I mean, smile, nod if you're open to other coaches. Yeah, I see Zena nodding. Like, I think it's just helpful having other people commenting, like myself commenting on another client or Zena commenting on one of my clients. Like, it just creates a bigger community. So I guess our vision is to have each of us as coaches encouraging our own clients and also other clients in the community. So if you guys see somebody post, go in there and comment and also say like, so what's been the biggest thing you've noticed that's changed? Or are other people commenting? Or what is your husband saying? Or what's the outfit you're wearing now that didn't fit before? Whatever it is, just to get people talking, because that's where the real stuff actually comes about. It's not just another, oh, yay, good job, which is fine, but it doesn't go anywhere. Is this making sense to anybody? Not if you're like tracking with me. So I think that would be the goal, is what can each of us do and what part can we play? Not just for your clients, but for the whole community, and being very active in there. And then what we'll notice is all these people that they'll like the activity. Activity breeds activity. When I used to work in real estate, we always said activity breeds activity. So the more we get clients excited, and as coaches, we're talking about things and getting people engaged, people are like, oh, I want to be a part of that cool group. I want to be posting. And so in Charlotte at our meetings, I've been encouraging everybody, like, be vulnerable. When I talk to clients during the week and check in with them, I'm like, it would be awesome if you shared that in our group, because I know other people will be encouraged by that. And you'll get people commenting and understanding and, giving you ideas. So if we as coaches can be encouraging our clients to be vulnerable, I think that'll be a huge step in the right direction too. So, I mean, we are their leaders, we're the coaches, and so people are going to follow suit with what we do as coaches. So the more we can be encouraging, the more we can be digging, even in our group, not just with our own clients, I think it'll help all around.
Really good points, Julie. Some of the message, we attend these trainings, and sometimes you think, well, I hear this all the time, but I always hear something different. But a couple of things that I heard this weekend from our training was that, really the fundamentals. All right, we want our clients to be successful, right? We want them to embrace what we have to offer because we want them to be successful. And the success in our program comes from the change in our thoughts, and it comes from the change in our behaviors. And if we don't engage and work to engage our clients, so I always think if, like Julie said, I love how you said, you don't have to, but this is why, this is why we want to. I think it's good if we understand why we want to do it. And if we don't, if we let our clients be vulnerable, it will become them just trying to stick to the weight loss plan. And that is a failure. We're doomed towards the road to failure because that diets just don't work. And it's also going to put a lot of pressure on you, because now you're the coach and you're trying to, you're a one-man show trying to bail your client out if they're not feeling good, if they're not happy or whatnot. But if we can get more of a community effort, they're going to see that these thoughts are normal, that the behaviors are normal. Going off plan and hitting Krispy Kreme is what a lot of people do, like, but they get back on track, and so that's what we want to encourage and foster, is that this is not about perfectionism, because it's like, it's so easy to do that comparison thing. I've heard it a lot from my coaches right now. We see more yays than we see, somebody not doing well. So I think the more we can open up, I think it's going to just take the pressure off you as a coach. We're going to be engaging. And then, like Julie said, I mean, there's been two situations really where a client posted, and really an outside coach coming in and saying, have you thought about becoming a coach? Like, or you thought about sharing this or inspiring others? Sometimes them hearing it from somebody else makes it resonate, or, we all like to be complimented. So if they hear it again, they might start to grasp that bigger picture of it. So I would encourage, not only to comment on things, we would love all of us. Like, we don't want this to be like an executive director driven page. This is our community page, our page. So if you have something you'd like to post, if you've got a question you'd like to ask the group, like Julie posed some really good questions there. I love open-ended questions that would hopefully get our clients talking. If you see something funny, those funny Friday, funny meme or something, put it out there. If you see something inspirational, post it and ask somebody, hope this helps you today. It spoke to me, or whatever. I think if we could just let people hear all different voices. And even today, I mean, Meg did a great job. She had her client ask something around the fuelings, which was good. That the client go and ask that question. And I saw a few situations where there's a couple clients out there that are just liking. So they're paying attention, they're liking, they're loving posts, but they're not commenting. So if one of those clients is yours, just having a conversation and asking them to maybe comment, or have they ever put their own thing out there? And I think I talked about this once before. I recently had a client who said, yeah, I really like reading it. I really like reading all that stuff. And we just had a conversation about how engaging and her sharing would, her participating would then be what somebody else is reading one day, and that made sense to her. She just had not thought of it. So any thoughts or questions around that, or ideas? Sound good? You guys game for it? Yes? All right, cool.
One other thing, we had, I think was it last year, where we had like all the EDs posting every day, like picked a day and we all took a day.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about doing something like that, but that seems a little bit like kind of canned, not really super authentic. So the more we all like take turns, not necessarily that we all have to have a day as coaches to post, but if you have something, I would say just intentionally put it out there, like Dee said. Not that we all need to pick a day and you do every Tuesday or whatever, but I think the more that we're intentional and put it on your calendar, you know what I mean? Like on Fridays, just like Dan says, have follow-up Friday. Maybe it's follow-up Eat, Live, and Be Optavia Day, and everybody go in there and what can I comment on today, and pick a day that you can actually go in there and be intentional. I think it'll help us big time with our clients.
I like that. And one thing, even sharing our own stories as coaches, or in our comments saying something. One thing was on, Dr. Ray had a global call today, and it was an interesting point that was made, that as coaches, even when we share our story, or we put our before and after out or something, we tend to be very comfortable sharing in our physical transformation, but yet we don't seem to speak much of our, what might have shifted, what's changed with us mentally, or what's changed financially. And there could be reasons or ideas or concepts around that. But if we don't talk about it, then others don't see what's possible with coaching, or they'll think it's, pocket change or spending money, where, there are coaches on this line making thousands and thousands of dollars every month, and that's not something that we want people to know there's hope. I mean, that's what we do, is we help inspire change in people. So if there's an opportunity, I mean, I'll maybe talk to some of you guys individually, maybe even just sharing your own story with everything from, Healthy Body through the different channels. I think that could be powerful for others. So we'll talk about that. And so on the same note, I'd really love to see our coach page evolve just like we have the interaction and all of that on the client side, I would really love to see our coach page evolve to a real resource for each other, where we can ask questions, we can express frustrations, we can celebrate victories, same thing, but make it much more interactive and educational and informative as a team effort. I feel like it's at this point kind of like announcement, team meeting, announcement, event on Saturday, announcement, and that's, I think that as a community, that it would be a great way, because do you guys like that idea? You like that idea? So Meg, you want to spend a little bit of time? We brainstormed a little after this afternoon, and some thoughts we've had around that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, I'm really excited about what could happen in our team page. I know when I was going through the program, losing weight, the Eat, Live, and Be Up to Via group was huge for me to see potential, for giving me hope for what could happen. And also when I ran into problems and roadblocks, that was a great resource for me to go to. And the same thing is true, I feel like, or could be true about our Team Corchin page. So I think there's so much there that we could do to make each other better. Because the more ideas that we have, I mean, all of us, we make each other better. So I think the benefits could be huge in terms of being better coaches. Like, I want to get better every day. I don't know, raise your hand if you're with me on this. Like, every day, I want to help my clients do better. I want to figure out how to bring in more clients and grow my business and help more people. So I think the Team Corchin page, like, there's so many things that we can do to build momentum for our businesses, build that community. We've got coaches all around the country, which is incredible. And so just building that community of coaches and making those connections, we have such an opportunity there. So we had a couple of ideas. We're always open to hearing other ones, of course. One idea that we had was to have a tip Tuesday. So every Tuesday we give you one tip for how to grow your business or how to serve your clients better. Anybody think that would be helpful? I see some head nods. Okay, cool. So just thinking about doing that. But basically, if you have a question with coaching, like I know I had a coach who had a question on a client with that had a thyroid issue. I mean, any kind of questions that you have about medical considerations or things like that, the Team Corchin page is a great page to post and get the answers from so many coaches. Last night, I was asking Vicki Feldman, our famous Orange Theory coach, about a client that I have, and that would have been a perfect thing if I would have thought about it to post on Team Corchin, so you all could have benefited from her incredible wisdom. So things like that can really help just keep us getting better, keep us sharp, and just really seeing other possibilities that are out there.
Yeah, I think I'm glad to see you guys nodding your head that you like that idea. I mean, for most of us, this is new, right? It's entrepreneurship, and the business is simple, but yet all these little things come up here and there. And so I think that the more we can exchange ideas, it just saves us all time in the end, if we know that, hey, it's probably in that group, or we can pop the question in that group. And if not, you'll learn where to find it, where to find the information. But also things just like we do with the client group, we really want that people to be, if they're struggling, we want them to be vulnerable and put it out there. I mean, they mentioned it on, the leadership call. I mean, with entrepreneurship and this, sometimes we're going to go through periods of disappointment. And I think it's okay to put it out there and say, well, all right, guys, what do you do when, the third client just, told you they're abandoning the plan, and somebody might give you some insight, or how do they handle that, or how do they leave the door open, or what do they say, and just learning. I mean, that's everything I've learned in this business, is just through interaction with others. So I am glad you're excited about that. And what I'd like to kind of leave us with is, I would really love to change the name of our coach page. I really would like to take my name, our last name, off it. I really just, like to make it more of a community, our coach community page. And would love, we've got a lot of creative people on the line. I would love your insight into it. It could be something with an acronym. I know, in talking with other coaches, they'll have things like, coaches inspiring, transformation, or whatever it might be. But I thought we'd do maybe a little contest, and I'll offer a prize for you guys. I'm gonna post about it tomorrow, a little incentive. Like, if we could all just brainstorm some ideas, we'll work together, some synergy as a group, and then there'll be a, whatever name is picked, there'll be a little carrot at the end of the string for that. So thanks for participating in that. We've got a couple of minutes. Any particular questions around all this, suggestions, other topics? Courtney, anything? Did you have something? No.
What was the best thing about this weekend for y'all that were there? Or Sunday?
Beth or Meg or Courtney, Vicki?
Beth is raising her hand.
I'll go. I've told Dee earlier today. First of all, I need to get out of my own way, and I need to dream bigger. So I'm working on those two things this week. So look out.
One big one I had was that I don't know if everybody saw that exercise that he did where he had us like see who could get more coaches faster, whatever the two different strategies. That blew my mind. And one thing that came out of that is I have got to be doing celebration calls with the clients of my coaches and really make that a priority when I've kind of put that on the back burner and thought that is just something I don't have time for. And I saw last night that it's something that takes precedent over anything, and I've got to be serious about that.
So I want Vicki to speak too before we hang up, but to elaborate on that, yeah, I meant to bring that up, so thank you. This is why we work so well as a team. So the exercise that Jamil did at the end, and you can catch it if you watch the recording in Team Palace in the last hour, but he was having us dream and really dream, and basically like, okay, if everything in your life could align, what would you want it to look like? Where do you want to live? Where, do you want to travel? Where do you want to go? Just really dreaming. And then he had us take our income, whatever we made last month. So you might have made $50, you might have made $500, you might have made $1,000. And then he just started having us add, zeros to it, like $10,000 more, $10,000 more, $10,000 more to show what was possible with this business. But then what he was modeling was that if we only offer healthy body to our clients, or we don't work on developing our skills on how to offer coaching and sponsor, that it's a long, hard road to really make, you can make some good income just coaching clients. But if you want to make really change your life and change a lot of lives and make a lot of impact, so what he showed was that if we just try to do it by ourselves, one person at a time, and just maybe a handful of coaches, that it's too exhausting. And in some of us that have been doing this for a long time, it does get very tiring when we just coach clients. But what he showed is that if we learn how to offer coaching to people, just like it was offered to you, and then you learn how to pass that down, right? And then you offer, and then you teach your coaches how to offer, and that's done through the celebration calls, the multiplier effect was mind-blowing. And so that was a great lesson. That was good. How about you, Vicki?
Yeah, no, I was really going to reiterate. I mean, you both have already said it, Meg, just that exercise with, and for those of you who weren't there, he just had two people, and one person went and grabbed one person at a time, and one person grabbed another person, and then they came back and they each grabbed a person, and then four people grabbed four more people. And so exponentially, we cleared the room very quickly. Clearly, on one side of the room was a whole crowd, and then they were still grabbing people one at a time on the other side. And it was just a very good visual just about that exponential. And like, you know it in your head, but I don't know, for some reason, I guess, just goes to show you some of us are, more physical, kinesthetic. Like for me, that was just like I've known that for 5 years, but just watching that happen was it wasn't really an aha moment. It was sort of the stake in the ground moment, I guess. So.
And one interesting thing that came out of that, I don't know if any of y'all agree, but when it was like a choice, like it was, everybody knew you were either going to go to one side of the room or the other. I wanted to go to the other side. Like I positioned myself to be picked for the winning team. Right. And I thought about that for our clients. Like, if coaching is so fun and we have this great community, and it is, like, I love hanging out with y'all. It's so fun. So if our clients pick up on that and how fun it is, they're going to be on the winning team with us. They're not going to be on this other team. So I got excited about that momentum too.
the possibility. Yeah. And Courtney, why don't you finish us up with your thoughts as being a newer coach and actually having the opportunity to speak and share?
Yeah, it was great. I felt like I just wanted to be a sponge and soak up everything that he was saying, and it was I just wanted to know the books that he was reading, the questions that he was learning. He's so, he was so charismatic and so inviting in because he was such a good listener. And I wanted to pick up that skill. And I think what I took away from it is that he said, I think I'll be seeing a lot more of you. And to me, that vote of confidence told me, okay, I mean, if you think I can do it, then I think I can do it. I'm taking the certification when I get home. And I did, so I just went home and put a little muscle into it, and it definitely lit a fire. So I was very thankful.
That's so awesome. And that's why we have coaches, right? And that's why we get around like-minded people, and that's why we get around people who are successful and in the area that you want to go, because it shows us possibility, and then it also reinforces that we are capable, and very often others believe in us before we do ourselves. So as Jamil said on our team, Facebook Live, I really would encourage you guys now to go ahead and register, make your decision. Like Vicki said, put your stake in the ground that you'll be at National Convention with us. And he really used a great approach is like playing the what if game. Like, well, what if I could work it out? What if I could come up with the money? What if I could, and what if my life changed as a result? So that's like Meg said, we have fun. This is a video. It's as fun as it's going to get on a video. But when the band starts playing and we're all together at the after party, that's when we have a lot of fun. So, so I look forward to seeing you guys there. So let's plan on that. And thanks for tuning in. And I really look forward to seeing the involvement of our community groups on Facebook. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Bye-bye. Thanks.